down to the neon lights. It's where I wanna be, 'cause I'm just trying to make it.
You're listening to the Diamonds in the Rough podcast.
I'm just trying to make it.
Powered by Prospects Live.
You powering through it?
Yeah, I'm literally just beasting through it.
What are you beasting through again?
Esophagitis.
And what is that?
Well, I took some pills this morning. And by pills, I mean like a probiotic, a multivitamin, and what else do we take? Fish oil. And
Yep.
one of them scratched the old esophagus going down. So now I can, every time, I feel like I got something stuck right here, but I'm powering through.
Folks, this is
you would
Diamonds in the
expect.
Rough. We hadn't been here in a while, but we're back. We're back after 2 weeks. Glad to be back on the mic, hot on the press. We got some stuff to talk about. No guests tonight. It's just going to be us. We're in the heat of baseball season. Guys are grinding, trying to make a playoff spot, a playoff push. So it's just us tonight. We got a lot to talk about, though. What we were just doing, though, I went over to Schnelly's. I was holding little Schnell, and we had the grill fired up, and guess what we had bumping? We had our turtle box bumping. Great vibes out there. Had a little college football podcast going, a little music going, country music on the grill. So everybody go get your turtle box. It's perfect for every occasion. Whether you're on the boat, whether it's a tailgate, whatever you're doing, get a turtle box and use code DNR for $30 off. I promise you won't be disappointed. If you're disappointed, write us a kindly worded email, and we'll take care of it. So that's use code DNR for $30 off. Boys, what's happening? Shook, how are you?
Making it, man. Making it.
Yeah, you get fresh off the volleyball court. How'd that go?
It did not go good for the Mocs tonight. They lost
Mocs,
3-2 to Kennesaw State. Oh,
Kennesaw, a rare matchup, I feel like.
yeah.
I feel like mid-majors out of conference never played another mid-major.
No, I feel like Chattanooga and Kennesaw State should be like a heated rivalry, but it's not.
Yeah, it'd be sick rivalry. Same colors. Sort of yellow and dark. Yeah, it'd be nasty.
Are you more of a Mocs fan or a Florida State fan?
Florida State, absolutely.
Okay.
Florida State played Mocs in the Final Four. You're Florida State.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Shook's just munching some chips.
That's a no lose situation though, I feel like.
Yeah. You'd be a little upset if Florida State lost though to UTC.
I mean, yeah, but it'd be a cool flex to be like, yeah, the Mocs are
UTC,
the
the
Final
championship.
Four. Yeah. Or
Georgia, the Dogs play UTC in basketball this year.
right.
The Illini play them in football this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was just talking
week
to
4,
the
I think.
Men's basketball SID, and he also does football, and he will be there for the Illinois game.
Well, that was
Thursday night.
that original date. It was the weekend of my original bachelor party. I was going to come up on Thursday and watch the freaking Mocs in Champaign. It'd be
I would have
nasty.
gone. I literally would have gone with you.
We can still do it. I mean, hey,
I'm down. Yeah.
why not?
Yeah. Let's go.
Well, yeah. I mean, football season is closing in. I have, I'm locked in on all platforms, fantasy, college, whatever it is.
When
But-
you really think about it, baseball doesn't even matter at this point. We're so close to football that we might have to change the podcast.
Baseball just started mattering to me, which is what's
I know,
next.
it's crazy.
So I got to lock it in.
It just stops mattering to me.
Finish out the season strong, then focus on football.
Yeah.
But let's knock out the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is a guy by the name of Fernando Tatis Jr. He's canned. He's canned for 80 games. Poor guy had ringworm, just trying to get it treated. Throw the guy a bone, man. No, that's nuts.
Just let the guy take a cycle one time.
I saw a doctor on Twitter, which is a confirmed source, that said that substance is not even used in any medication that treats ringworm. So, at least if you're going to use an excuse, go to a little further detail on it. Like, at least try to connect some dots.
Yeah.
Do you even know what that drug does?
So what I heard from another doctor was that I think Clestibol is the drug he got caught for.
Yeah.
That drug is like a performance enhancer.
Okay.
But there's another drug that sounds just like Clestibol that I'm blanking on the name, but it is actually used to treat ringworm. And
So
I think
they
that's
got
where
their wires
that whole
crossed.
thing came from. Yeah.
They got stumped. I mean, those are two big words.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really blame him.
It's
one of those things where you're like, oh, well, this is close enough. I bet nobody will notice. Because that's how Twitter is, and that's how media is. No one would notice. Speaking of no one noticing, we'll get back to this. I just watched the Manti Te'o documentary. Oh my gosh!
I'm gonna watch that tonight.
All-time troll. All time. My top 5 trolls. Well, I can only do top 3. My top 3 trolls are that guy, Skip Bayless, and the 3-year Letterman. The 3 best trolls I've experienced in my lifetime.
Jameis Winston got suspended again for being a troll. You remember that story?
Vaguely. Is that when he tried to run out and play?
No, he stood up in the student union and yelled something I can't repeat on the podcast. I'm going to cut this out anyway. So he yelled out "F for right in the pussy." In the student union. So,
please keep it in.
Yeah, that's what he got suspended for against Clemson, and then tried to run out on the field with his pads on. And
you know what the best part of that is? Is he blanked out F, but he said pussy.
That's true. Oh my gosh. Dude, Jameis Winston is the funniest human being unintentionally I've ever seen in my entire life. Did y'all see that clip where Matt Olson? No, it wasn't Olson. Somebody hit a home run the other day, and there was a guy in the dugout who looked exactly like Jameis Winston, and somebody clipped it up and was like,
I saw that.
How did Jameis Winston in the dugout? I was like, if he's actually in the dugout, I'm going to lose my mind. But
he looked just like him.
Anyway, Fernando Tatis, his dad played in the big leagues. He's in the big leagues. He knows better. I mean, he completely knows better. I get it. When you're injured, and especially when you get injured for something dumb like he did, you're just trying to get back. You're trying to save face, pop a cycle. We've all been there. Shove the needle in there, get a cycle pumping.
You think he was getting jealous of Juan Soto getting all the attention? So he's like, I need to take steroids so I can be the center of attention.
I don't know. I hate jugging on this guy because I've said it for years. He's the best baseball player I've ever watched in person in my entire life. He's literally A-Rod. But that I was kind of disappointed to hear it because he's an exciting player, obviously, but you got to be better than that.
Yeah,
you just have to be better than that. Hurt the team, hurt everybody around him. You feel bad for, and I know AJ personally. So, AJ Preller, he's going all in. He wants to win a World Series, clearly. Whether you agree with what he's doing or not. He's putting a product on the field that should win a World Series, and then stuff like this happens, and it just completely blows up in the face.
Yeah.
That's an uncontrollable. But somebody posed a thing the other day in the cafeteria where all good ideas are cooked up. That
no pun intended.
They should allow – that was nasty. That they should allow injured players to rip cycles, to take PEDs while you're injured to recover and then be off of them. But I first, that sounded like a great idea. I was like, you know what? That's a solid idea. But then I was like, okay, but what constitutes being injured? He said, you got to be on the IL. I said, well, you could roll your ankle, be on the 10-day IL, rip a cycle, and come back and hit nukes. He was like, that's true. So that was debunked pretty quickly. But for 30 seconds, it sounded like a very sound idea.
What if he did you had to have surgery on something?
That could be it.
You would have to get moved to the 60-day, I feel like. To do
what if you got your tonsils taken out, though?
That's true. Or LASIK. You literally got 2 PED. Getting LASIK, you got your eyes fixed, and you can hit bombs now.
Speaking of performance enhancers, I learned that caffeine was a legit performance enhancer this week. I've never taken pre-workout or anything in my life. I've just always felt like I don't know. I don't really know why I never take it. I think it was the pride thing. I don't need that. Well, I was dragging. It was the day after I pitched. Yeah, I'm pitching again. No flex. But it was the day after I pitched, and I was dragging. I needed to work out. Saw a guy had some C4. I'm like, let me get some of that. Dude, I was freaking buzzing. I wasn't – caffeine doesn't make me jittery or anything or itch like they talk about, but I was just ready to roll. After I was done lifting, I was in the shower, and I legitimately thought about dropping down and repping out push-ups. So when I went back to the cafeteria, Al, our nutritionist, was sitting there, and I was like, yo, is there any bad thing of taking caffeine before you pitch? He's like, no, it's a legal performance enhancer. I was like, seriously? He was like, yeah, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't. I was like, deal. So I ripped some before I pitched last. It was awesome. I'm all in on caffeine before I pitch. That's my official stance. Hopefully it ticks the velo up, and when it does that, I might double my dosage. Do you take caffeine or anything still?
I did last year. I drank a Red Bull or took pre-workout before every game. But I
I've
was
seen bullpen guys
last
take a
year,
Red
so
Bull
I didn't
or
do it this
whatever.
year.
Bullpen guys do it religiously.
Yeah.
But does it wear off like eighth inning rolls around? You're carrying through?
I think that the Red Bull did, but when I started taking pre-workout, it didn't.
Do you come down like crash or no?
No, I didn't.
I don't either. I'm just chilling. That's why I always drink some caffeine. Like I drink caffeine twice a day. I drink it in the mornings and drink it in the afternoons, and it usually just carries me to when I go to sleep. But it's never like a crash.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's a big time move. I'm all in, bought in. I forget who it was. He was in the bullpen for the A's. They were asking what it's like to pitch for like empty stadiums, pretty much. And he was like, "Let's just say I've become very knowledgeable on different caffeines." I was like, "So that makes sense. You got to manufacture it somehow." But no, there's guys I've seen that'll be. I remember at spring training, I guess was the first time I really saw this. When I was in college, nobody in the bullpen really used any caffeine. We had one guy take caffeine pills before we pitched in Hoover. And he was a caffeine junkie anyway, but he ripped some caffeine pills, I think like more than he usually did because we had the 9 a.m. game. And he was in the middle of that bat with nobody on base, and he went to the stretch. And Coach Kenny was like what the hell's he doing? What's he doing? I was like, I don't know. And then he walks off the field with 2 outs. And Kenny's like, something is going on. And so then we had to have the talk about, hey, this is just a game. Don't make it more than it is. Tim ripped 3 caffeine pills before we played. Like, it was nuts. But yeah, he literally went to the freaking stretch in the middle of the at bat. He was bugging. I forget where I was going with that. But that's a story, at least.
A story.
That's story.
Hilarious.
Apparently, caffeine pills hit like a truck.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. I mean, I guess I drink I guess I do. I drink coffee before games usually.
Yeah.
So and then last year was Red Bull and C4. I mean, I need something because we freaking practice for 5 hours before the freaking game, and then by that point I'm tired. So
bro. Like now that I've done it, like it makes complete sense. Especially if I was in the bullpen, I will never come out of the bullpen without something.
Mm-mm.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's how you get hot quick.
I don't know anybody that does it in the bullpen.
Well, I saw somebody when I got down here. It was really the first time. It was spring training. It was like later spring training. It was hot, and he was about to go in the game, and he had a full bank. Pops the cap and just down the gullet, the whole thing. I was like, oh my gosh, I would throw up.
Yeah, I would throw
that's like overload. I think C4 has like 130 in a scoop grams of caffeine. The bank's 500 in the dome.
Yeah,
you're bugging then for sure. But that's the caffeine talk. I have no idea the performance enhancers. Yeah. Slap Tatis on the wrist. He's not losing that much money. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it.
Well, I mean, he's losing a lot of money, but
$3 million.
Yeah,
something like that. 3.1.
Yeah, that's.
I mean,
he screwed his team, but
more than you and I got.
Yeah, for sure. It's a ton of money, but in terms of a $350 million contract, whatever he's on, he's still chilling.
He's chilling.
He's chilling. All right. Speaking of contracts, let's inform the audience here. Let's talk a little baseball, talk a little business, talk a little numbers. Get me fired up. Michael Harris signs an 8 years, $72 million contract. Michael Harris, outfitter with the Braves. If you're unfamiliar, he's 21 years old. Got called up from AA. Superstar. Kid is nasty. He's been really good. He's hitting close to 300. And he's one of the best defensive outfielders in the league. Yeah. Well, everybody knows some of the backgrounds of the contracts that's been signed by the Braves, where on the surface, they look like awful contracts. And if you don't know much about baseball, business side, they look like terrible contracts. Oh, well, he's only making $10 million a year or whatever it is. Well, listen, here's how baseball works. First of all, Schnell, would you sign that contract?
You couldn't even. They would be handing it to me. It'd be signed already. Yes, I'm signing it.
Here's the good and the bad. The good is in baseball, the first 3 years in the league, it don't matter who you are. It don't matter if you're the best prospect in baseball or a free agent signed from Canada, you I think it's $700,000 a year now for 3 years.
Yeah.
You go to arbitration, which is, I think I'm worth $2 million. The Rays say, no, you're worth 1.5. And if you can't come to an agreement, you go to a court case and literally you argue why you should get that, and the Rays argue why you shouldn't. That's a real thing. That goes on for another 3 years, and then you're a free agent. So what's beneficial for the Braves in this is the 8 years. So we said 6 years before you're a free agent. The 8 years, they get team control, which is a big deal. He's going to be 27, 28, pretty much his prime, like 2 of his prime years. They're going to be getting him at a premium if he's as good as he is now. It's 15 mil for the 7th year, 20 mil for the 8th year, which, thinking about that, that's not bad for him. Like if you sign a 10-year, let's say 10-year, $200 million contract, that's 20 a year. Like he's making 20 that year.
Yeah.
You know, in 2028, the market is going to be different, obviously, but 20 mil, like, come on. I don't care who you are.
I would sign an 8-year, $20 million deal.
Nah. But so the Braves get 2 years of extra team control, but what's so beneficial for Michael Harris is those years get bought out. He no longer has the rookie minimum. He's going to be making, I think it kicks in, next year? Or is it kicking now? Do you know?
I don't know how that works.
Either way, let's say
sure.
it kicks in next year. Next year he's supposed to be making $700,000. He's going to be making $5 million. So a big time upgrade there, and then he doesn't have to go to arbitration. He's locked into Atlanta. He can buy a house. Your agent might not like it. I'm signing the dang thing.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to inform people on that. Same thing with Acuna. Same thing with Albies. Like those guys did the same.
Bro,
They got Austin Riley for a premium. I will say.
I saw a tweet that showed like how long they have each of their players for. And it was nuts.
They're probably gonna try to extend Dansby too.
I think the Sun tweeted it.
Let's
Yeah,
talk.
Austin Riley through 2032, Matt Olson through 2030, Michael Harris II through 2030, Acuna through 2028, Grissom through 2028, Ozzie Albies through 2027, Strider through 2027, Contreras through 2027, Kyle Wright through 2026, and Max Fried through 2024.
That plays. That's pretty good.
It's a solid squad.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Let's talk a little baseball since we're talking squads. We've boosted the Yankees a lot on this show. They are sucking. They're on a little downhill slide right now. Chanel, you got those Dodgers facts off the top of your head or no?
I think, yeah. So I saw it on Twitter that there's been 4 teams. I want to say this right. I could be wrong, but there's been 4 teams that have won 20 games in 1 month this year. And they've only done it once. The Dodgers have done it 4 times this year. They won 20 games.
It can't be 4, but it can be 3, right?
That's what
they have.
I think they have like 80. I think the tweet was they have 3, and if they win a couple more this month, it will be 4.
Gotcha. Yeah, the Dodgers are a wagon. They just lost Buehler, though. That hurts.
What's crazy to me is everybody was riding the Yankees, which I know they were having an unbelievable stretch there at the beginning. But I feel like nobody's talked about the Dodgers.
Well, at the peak, the Yankees were still like 7 or 8 games ahead of the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So, but the Dodgers kept it rolling there. I mean, they're loaded, dude. They're freaking loaded. Losing Buehler sucks. But, dude, I think the Mets are kind of a wagon. Like I wasn't a believer at first, but when you got Scherzer and DeGrom 1-2 in a playoff punch, ugh.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much guaranteed 2 wins.
Ugh. Yeah, that's.
Imagine this. Picture this. The Mets end up in the wild card. They start DeGrom, let him go 5-6, bring in Scherzer for 2, and then Edwin Diaz behind him for 2.
That'd be awesome.
Like you're not winning. No shot.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, they bang too. Like Vogelback, they trade for Vogelback, and he's Babe Ruth.
Yep.
Yeah, they're a solid team, man, and the Braves are good too. The National League is kind of loaded. They're actually really loaded. Both sides are loaded, but I feel like the National League is really loaded this year. This should be some fun playoff series.
Brett Beatty went big leagues or big fly in his first AB today.
Always sick when that happens.
After being in AAA for like a week.
Yeah, man, that's the new wave.
Yeah.
Spend as little time in AAA as possible.
Funny story about that. So our softball hitting coach, he was a development coach for the Mets 3 years ago now. And he comes up to me one day and he's like, "Hey man, one of the guys I used to coach in Kingsport, he was with the Kingsport Mets, just got called up to AAA and I'm going to go see him." He met this week, but this was last week or 2 weeks ago. He's like, "I'm going to go see him soon in Charlotte." And I was like, "Oh, cool. Who is it?" Because like I hadn't seen that he had gotten called up to AAA. He's like, "Brett Beatty." I was like, "Oh, nice." So Brett Beatty made it to the show because he had a good development coach in Kingsport.
And I guess he didn't get to see him play in
I
Charlotte.
played.
No, he
the-
didn't. He didn't.
The King. I played him when he was in Kingsport. So your coach coached against me.
Wow. Ask him about Nick
Wow.
Schnell. Ask him how they pitched Nick Schnell.
I'm sure he's got a full.
Well,
schedule
that
for
that
this point.
that's the season that I crushed. So I probably dominated them. That team was stacked. They had Beatty and they had Alvarez at the
Yep.
time. Yeah.
He talks about them all the time.
Yeah, it's a good squad. It's a good squad. Give us some. Let's do some World Series predictions here. Schnell, kick us off. I want ALCS, NLCS, World Series.
ALCS. I think it'll be the Rays
Naturally.
because I
That's a
think
cop-out
that I
answer.
think no, it's not. I think
Hander.
that they are
Hander pick.
they're gonna get guys back at the right time. If Glass now can come
They're
back
getting healthy.
and Wander is healthy, I think that they just swept the Yankees.
They should be getting Wander, Margot, and Zanino.
No, it's that Harold dude. He's already back. Ramirez.
Harold Ramirez.
Yeah, Harold Ramirez.
And they could get Glass now back. They could get
Well,
if
McKay
Boz
and
is-
Chirinos are in AAA right now too.
if the shot works for Boz, they can get Boz back. They can get Nick Anderson.
Nick Anderson's been in AAA for like a month now.
Yeah, but they can call him up at any
Right.
point.
I
And
mean, they could call up Taj, Aranda,
yeah,
Josh
exactly.
Lowe.
The team's got a shot. I think it'll be the Rays, and I think it'll be the I don't want to say the Yankees because screw the Yankees.
Yeah.
That wouldn't even be possible, right? Or it doesn't matter because
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They could still be up there.
Yeah. We'll say
Yep.
I'll say Rays and Yankees, and then Rays beating them, going to the World Series against the Mets, and the Mets will play the Dodgers, and the Rays will beat the Mets. But really, that is a biased pick. I think the Mets are going to win the World Series this year.
Shook.
The Phillies are my sleeper team.
Sleeper. Zach Wheeler's
Let
nasty.
me. I don't think anybody's talking about a team in the American League, not named the Yankees, that have an insane number of wins, and that's the Houston Astros. So,
Always.
They're always a good squad.
give me them in the ALCS.
And I'm pretty sure
again.
Bregman's not even playing that good right now, right? Like if he gets hot, they get rolling.
Alvarez is also, other than Aaron Judge, the greatest hitter ever. So
Yeah.
Give me the Astros against the Rays in the ALCS. I like the Astros in that series there. And then in the National League, let me get the I do like the Mets. Just for chaos sake, give me the Mets and the Braves. In the NLCS, give me the Mets in did they 7 or 5 in the CS? It's 7, right?
7 in the CS.
Yep. Give me the Mets in 6.
Okay.
And then the Mets win the World Series in 7.
The first time since when?
A long time.
Long time.
84, I believe.
So one thing that most of y'all probably know about me on this podcast, when it comes to sports, I'm pro chaos. I want maximum chaos at all times. The most chaotic series possible. I want the Rays to win the World Series. That goes without saying. The most chaotic series possible would be the Yankees and the Astros in the LCS and the Mets and the Braves in the NLCS. Because Twitter is an absolute war with the Mets and the Braves playing. I follow a lot of Braves fans naturally as a Falcons and Hawks fan. A lot of my buddies are Braves fans, and it's a war when they play the Mets, and they've got me intrigued by this series. I've been watching every game for that reason. And then the Yankees and Astros, everybody knows what happens. 2017, Judge got robbed of MVP. Astros cheat, all that bullcrap. Garrett Cole now on the Yankees. I'm pro chaos. And in that series, see, I think the Yankees are on the correct trajectory in the college baseball. In college baseball, that is the trajectory you want to be on. Look at any team who's ever won the World Series. You start hot.
Any team that's won any tournament ever. That's how it goes.
Hot,
little bit of cold, and then
this is the perfect time to get cold. The perfect time. Everyone's like, oh, time to press the panic button. No, this is the time to thank someone for this bad luck you're running into. Offense goes cold. Stanton comes back. Couple guys. Rizzo gets healthy. LeMahieu gets healthy. Boom. They're hitting again right before October starts, and they're back to the dominant team they were before. So I got Yankees and Mets in the World Series, which would be sick. And then I don't know what happens there. But the Mets have the way better pitching, so I'm going to take Mets. But that series would be nuts. The little Subway Series, World Series.
The Mets pitching against.
Can you imagine sports journalists? They would need tissues beside their bed at all times. Like legit, they would be beside themselves if we had a Yankees Mets World Series. The ESPN wouldn't know what to do with their hands.
Mm-mm.
You had something else, didn't you, Shell, or were you good?
Let me check the Spark Notes.
I had a tweet saved.
I did too. Let's
I
see what my
I think it was
Twitter
along the
says.
lines of what we were just talking about. Yeah, I had Tatis. Oh,
Dude, this is after you. I got a crazy tweet.
Okay, this is going back to the Fernando Tatis thing. This is from Kevin AC, which I think is a Padres writer. The Padres will announce today that September 7th, Fernando Tatis Jr. bobblehead giveaway has been changed to a Juan Soto City Connect jersey giveaway. That's cold.
I'm
That's
absolutely
cold.
here for that.
Yeah, no, me too. 100%. Like
That thing's getting given. That thing will be given away next year anyway.
right. Well, let's call a spade a spade. Yeah, I mean, no one wants that right now. Nobody in San Diego wants that. So I'm with it. That's a power move by the organization. Like he's good, but we can't sit here and cater to him. Like he's 22.
Yeah.
He's got to earn a little bit, Like he's got the fat contract. He's one of the best players in baseball, but he's not Machado. Not yet. He hasn't earned that respect. So if it's Machado and you pull that, it's like, come on now. But Tatis, all for it.
All right, I got two tweets. First one, this one's crazy, and then the next one is just absolutely insane. Shohei Ohtani has now struck out 165 batters while getting on base 168 times as a hitter.
Dude, I just saw in the game today that he was like 4 for 4 with a jack, and they lost 11-7.
It's sad.
What are they doing?
It's sad. I don't know.
And then they send all of their draft picks straight to AA.
Yeah. Everybody.
Because their farm system sucks. Sorry if anybody on this listens or is an Angels player, but your farm system sucks.
Well, I mean, that's no way to get it better by sending all your draft picks to AA.
Well,
yeah.
I agree with you.
If you have one or two who are like really advanced, like Reed was good. Reed's. But when you send them all of them there, like you're risking ruining some of them.
I mean, I guess they see like, hey, these guys are college guys. Like Sonny D's he's like 23, I feel like.
Well, tell me the three best teams at developing talent.
The Rays, the Cardinals, I would say. I don't know if I have a third one.
The Dodgers.
Dodgers, yeah, Dodgers.
They all are very slow-moving organizations. All three of those. All three of the organizations are slow. You're not going to get rushed up through. You're going to develop. So there's something to be said for that. Like there are players that can fall. Like Garrett Crochet, he was a big leaguer out of college. So there's some guys like that. But throwing everyone like that into the fire, in my opinion, I don't run a team for obvious reasons. I don't make these decisions. If I was making decisions, I probably wouldn't send my first-round draft pick straight to AA off the rip. I'd let him kind of get his feet wet, get in. Like Because then, like, a first rounder comes in with so much hype, so much potential. Like, everybody's going to be checking his stats daily. He starts sucking, he starts pressing. You know, you kind of want to end that first season on a good note. So, we'll see. I mean, they could all be big leaguers next year and make me look like an idiot. But
you're a pitcher, so let me ask you this. With the draft being later, are you opposed to the idea, if you were a manager or handled these decisions, would you be opposed to shutting down, let's say, a college guy who just got done in the College World Series or something in that instance for the rest of the last 2 months of the season?
Yeah, it would completely depend on innings. They would be monitored. But the thing about with the late draft, like you mentioned, our draft guys got here at the beginning of the month. The FCL's over next week. Like, it's a month, and they've played in a week of games. It's a weird timing now where they don't really get that many games unless they send some of them to an affiliate at the end of the year. But then again, it only goes through September 11th is the last game, I think, scheduled game, something like that. So, yeah, like, I don't think it's a terrible idea. I would still let them throw a little bit because I don't think you should just shut down completely. You could just monitor innings, like 1 inning outings, 1 or 2 inning outings, like once a week, and just kind of finish out the season and then take a break because you don't want too long of a break before spring training next year. You know, like I wouldn't want to be off from September to January, and then start pitching again to hitters at the end of February. So I would still pitch them a little bit, but yeah, they wouldn't be throwing any meaningful innings at any affiliate. But I think that's about all we got for this show.
Hold on. I gotta tell you this tweet. So there, I saw this guy. He tweeted this stat, and you know how like baseball now, a lot of teams they don't look at like your actual average or like WOBA is a big thing now, but a lot of teams look at what's called its expected WOBA. So like a lot of people like will take the result of your hits, and then there's an algorithm that tells you like the percentage of time it's a home run, triple, double, whatever. So this is a stat that's showing who has missed out on the most like expected home runs, like what their expected home runs are versus what they have. Aaron Judge when this was tweeted, had 46. His expected home runs was 59.6.
Oh my god!
And that was the most out of anybody in the big league. Schwarber was up there. He has 34 and is expected to have 43. Austin Riley has 30, expected to have 40. Dansby has 16, expected to have 29. Soto has 22, expected to have 33. Ohtani has 26, expected to have 37. But just the fact that Aaron Judge's expected home runs is almost 60.
Like I'm willing to say it. I'm a hot take guy. I'm willing to say it. Aaron Judge is one of the best hitters of all time. Yeah. The numbers that he's putting up, like over this 5-year stretch or however long he's been in the league, I guess it's 6th year, stupid numbers. Like I think people are, because he's so old, he was old when he came in the league, people kind of writ him off as ever being like an actual guy where you can say that. It's like, well, he's going to have to really prove it to be a Hall of Famer. The brother's really proving it. The brother's really proving it. This is like the biggest bet on yourself thing, like year I've ever seen.
Ever.
I don't know what the market is for him because, like, yeah, he is 31, but boy, can hit. I just can't believe how he hits for average. That blows my mind with how big he is and how many home runs he hits. And like we've seen it with like the combination of home runs before, like with Pujols, Barry Bonds, they hit A-Rod. They hit for high average and it had a lot of power. They weren't 6'8". He's got the biggest strike zone since Darryl Strawberry, and he's hitting 300 every year. with the one dot almost. He's got like a career 970 OPS.
Yeah.
One of the best hitters ever. And what's funny, if you go back and look at the scouting reports coming out of college, it was like, can he translate the power to games? Like he has big time BP power, but he can't translate it to games. That's why when you cry about people that have bad stats or something, like, how do you go in the first round? My stats were better than his. I heard that all the time. Well, it's Aaron Judge. Like, I don't care if he hit 4 home runs in actual games. You watch him take BP and he's hitting them off the interstate, and it's like, yeah, this guy, I'm willing to bet this guy figures it out.
Yeah. 100%.
Before we go, we got a word from our sponsor here. Word from our sponsor. It's K season, baby. K season. It ain't only fans, it's only pitchers. This brand is the brand for pitchers. If you don't have this flag in your dorm room, you don't throw gas. It's plain and simple. It's use code DNR. Is it DNR 10? Yeah, DNR 10 for 10% off of everything on their store. Father and son started the brand. I mean, it's baseball. It's nothing more American than that. Definitely go help them out. They got awesome shirts, awesome pullovers. Like I said, the short sleeve pullover is gorgeous. It's got American flag, everything you want in it. Definitely go check them out. Use code DNR10. We have an awesome interview lined up for next week, so come back, stay tuned for that. It's going to be a good one. Hopefully, I'm leaving Florida soon. Going to get to an affiliate, so wherever I'm at, come hit me up. Let's have a chat. Don't be afraid to take me out to dinner. But we'll be back to you next week. Thanks for listening in. Stay sparkler.